When I was younger, it was ages about 16 to 22 that I was just completely off diet, no treatment, no formula, nothing at all, just whatever I want, whenever I wanted. I went off diet because typical rebellious teenager, wanting to be like everybody else in school and all of my other friends that I knew my whole life. You wanted to fit in, you wanted to be part of the group, and then on top of that, you just want to be the same.
Our understanding of phenylketonuria and the effects of PKU on the brain have really changed in the last 50 to 60 years. Initially, the condition was described as this phenylalanine builds up, causes a developmental problem in the growing brain of a young child. If you can get the child, keep them on diet till their brain is done developing, they'll be fine. We're now much smarter. We have a much better understanding that even though the brain has its final adult shape by 4 years, the nerves and nerve cells in the brain and the connections in the brain are growing and developing in very important ways. We now know that that's continuing well into the third decade of life. People in their late 20s, their brain is still developing and growing and changing. Even in an adult who has PKU, if their phenylalanine in their blood is high and they're preventing tyrosine and they're preventing tryptophan getting into the brain, so they're not making dopamine and they're not making the right amount of serotonin, it's going to affect the way their brain functions.
A lot of the side effects that I had when I was off diet didn't really seem to occur until I had to keep a job. I was always really anxious, really uptight, couldn't go to social gatherings just because I would freak out when I got there. Getting back to treatment, it seemed like a no-brainer. It was like, this is going to fix all of my problems. I'll finally be able to have the job that I want and afford the things that I want and be able to make friends more, and it was a simple decision. It was just, okay, here, we're doing this now.
Generally, when they call, it's because they know something's not right in their life. When everything is going well in somebody's life, they're generally not looking back to see what can I do to change it. They're trying to go forward and say, something has to change for me because it's not going well now. So it could be a combination of things. It could be relationships, whether it's a job relationship or a personal relationship. Something is not right in their life and they're looking for help.
I went from being completely off diet to eating nothing but fruits and vegetables, only having moderately high protein carb source 2 or 3 times a week. I actually read somewhere that you have to tell yourself, this is just how I eat. It's nothing against somebody, it's nothing towards something, it's just, this is me. This is just how I am. Accept me for me and we'll be okay. The attitude that you have returning to treatment is gonna basically determine whether it goes well or not. It determines, whether you're gonna be happy on your diet or, whatever treatment you're taking, or if it's just gonna be misery. Just being able to flip that switch in your head and telling yourself, this is what I do, this is how I am, and accepting it is gonna completely change the outcome. If you just think of it as a non-issue, that you eat this way, it becomes so much less of your time and your day that it makes everything else around you easier. Make that call to your clinic. Whatever it may be, just take that first step. It's always the hardest one, but once you get the ball rolling, the snow's gonna accumulate and it's gonna hit the bottom of the hill as a boulder.